the number, are they in there?
No, I'm not.
Well, I would suggest we do. Of course, this is going to be looked at by the DPG.
Okay.
I can do that, I have it in there.
I
All right, we'll
move
make that
that we
correction.
accept the minutes, as
That's
corrected.
Okay.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. Good, thank you. Now with that, I'll call up our treasurer, Ms. Liz Johnson.
Good evening, Democrats. Hello. I've been asked to give a summary of our finances, and I've written some of it on the blackboard. I've combined the quarterly report, October, November, December of 2016. So our income for those 3 months was $5,350. Our expenses were $70.19. So for that quarter, we ran a deficit of $1,669. Our monthly expenses every month, just for our headquarters here, rent plus utilities plus post office box, is almost $800, as you can see. Some other figures I have, our total expenses, this times 12 for just our headquarters expenses is $93.50, but our income from membership donations for the whole year last year was just $34.06. So we could use some more donations. We did make some money on the logo items. I'd like to thank Ms. Greenbaum for all the work she did ordering the signs, the t-shirts, the buttons, and bumper stickers. We made a little money on that. We had 6 monthly breakfasts last year. We broke almost even. Out of those 6 breakfasts, we lost a total of $90. We charged just exactly what the hotel charges us, and we're required to pay for. Am I being videoed?
Don't worry about it, Miss. Let's go forward. Yes, she is.
Yellow Dog, we took in $200 in the calendar year for our drawing tickets and donations, and the expenses were $0. I'd like to thank Terrence for doing some of our grocery shopping, for doing all the vacuuming, our temperature adjustment. So you can tell it's kind of warm. It's a lot of people in a small room, but he's the one who sets the thermostat, vacuums after us, sets up, cleans the bathroom.
I'm taking you home with me, Karen.
And then the last summary report is for the Get Out the Vote efforts. Our total cost for Get Out the Vote efforts, including $500 to support a candidate, was $42.12. Our income was $36.85, including a nice donation from an anonymous donor and from the Augusta Building and Trades Union. To Get Out the Vote, even with the generosity of many people, still cost us $527. So we do have expenses. We'd love to have some donations. That's it for my summary. Any questions? Yes.
Are they cash or just check donations?
Either one.
Okay,
Either
great.
one's fine. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Do you have to be a member to donate?
No. We'll take money from anyone.
That was a good one.
How many fundraising initiatives do we do each year besides the breakfast to raise money?
That's a really good question. Breakfast is pretty much the only one. When we have a special event like Get Out the Vote, then we have special fundraising connected to that. But we've talked a lot about additional fundraising things.
Yeah, it seems we need to have more.
We're open to suggestion. We've thought about yard sale, garage sale, Saturday breakfast, flea market, lots of stuff. We would love some fundraising.
Who's in charge? Is the finance, is the treasurer in charge of setting up those fundraisers, or?
No, that's actually the Ways and Means Committee. We can get into that a little bit later on.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Only question is there I know we say we donate, but is it really a number finance,
In terms of what, members are to give?
yeah, what you would ask,
Well-
as a minimum or maximum?
Minimum expense.
It's encouraged the members give the committee members give a minimum of $15, but any amount of donation is acceptable.
Generosity is appreciated.
Wouldn't I publicize membership drives that are asking for your professed $15 per member give away for a reasonable finance to be collected? Like, if you were to actually reach out and ask for future members, for more members, that gives you a way to get money. And as a member of the public, that doesn't happen. So perhaps you said you were open for suggestions.
Yes,
So,
appreciate that.
yeah.
Thanks.
Well, that does lead me to one other thing, and that is, we need a bigger place. I mean, somebody walks in here and says, okay, this is just a bit too much for me, you know, all these people in this little room.
Yeah,
and-
this would be great. Most months it's not an issue.
Well,
And to
like they say, anything
And to your point, the executive committee has had discussions with that. We wanna see how committee meetings go for the next few months. And we might be making some arrangements where we can at least hold the general meeting, there, and then we can have our committee meetings and everything else at the headquarters. So, as you can see, this is $780 a month. To get a larger space, it's gonna be, a lot more, although, that means increased fundraising, so it's not
more
that.
members means more money.
Exactly,
Well, the
so,
economy's for free in the public, up there,
I'm sorry?
we can work out something with the city to use a public space.
As a political party, not typically that can be done,
There are
but
reasonable,
again,
there are reasonable arrangements at local, libraries that we can be reasonably private, but still open according to charter and bylaws.
No, but you cannot have political.
but I know with the government, right, and library, the problem with library is probably the timing on that, so, but there's other options, but like for the time being, this is kind of where we are, but, we are considering, we have had discussions on
We
it.
do have a budget committee, right?
We have a finance committee,
For the finance committee.
yes.
So they set the annual budget?
They are, going to submit, they're working on the, budget we submitted to the exec committee on February, so we have not yet set our budget.
Does the body ever have to approve spending?
If there is spending like new headquarters, I have to go back, but, some of those items will probably be by the whole body, yes. After the exec committee has figured out a budget, what we're planning on doing is hopefully to submit some kind of budget, as what we think our spending should be for this year. And it might have consideration of a new place to hold the general meeting. Yes.
I have a two-part question. It may have been stated, I just missed it. What are the annual membership dues, or are there any? I heard
There's
that
no
members give.
required dues, it's encouraged to give at least 15.
There are no required dues.
They cannot require anyone to do, this is a open volunteer party, but it's encouraged because as you can see, we do have expenses. So we need, funds runs the organization, so funds are needed.
I understand, as I said, there's a two-part question. Since there was no mention of there is, and you just clarified that there was no required membership dues. But I'm so happy to see all these young people. So, my other part of my question is, as this august body gets together, before they start answering budgetary questions, is there any law that says we can't have membership dues?
I believe it's the state body, the state party of Georgia.
Oh,
You're shaking your head.
I would
No, I don't
also
know
like to
what you're shaking
highlight
your head.
that most of the young people that are here right now are not currently members, so what she's
Anybody
saying
get
is kind of a moot point.
Well, I mean, hopefully that'll change.
Anybody gets the money.
Right, yeah, I'm like, anyone can donate money.
I'm not gonna give money to someone that's not gonna let me be a member of the party.
Amen.
what, you can't be a member?
Well, hopefully
Okay.
We're trying.
Excuse me, I have another question on the floor.
It's on the agenda.
I
We'll see what
was
happens.
wondering if we include in our bylaws that all members contribute, we can't do that
No.
against the state?
That's against the state bylaws.
Well,
Okay.
Okay, so I didn't quite tell the truth when you asked about other fundraisers, is our monthly ticket drawing. So I am subtly gonna go around
Yeah, we're gonna do the
and sell tickets for a drawing at the end. We'll draw 3 tickets, and the choices tonight are this beautiful wooden cigar box, a journal with lined pages that's untouched and lovely, doesn't have a lock and key, you can't lock out your brother. This was donated by one of our members, who I think is here tonight. This is actually a Barack Obama watch. You can probably get a battery. You can get a battery for between $5 and $10. If you're interested in seeing it, I can pass it around, but it's pretty nice. And then we have an array of bumper stickers, calendars, and I even have a lovely button that says Office of the Mayor, Augusta, Georgia. So if your ticket is one of 3 drawn at the end, you get a choice. Thank you.
Interesting with that. That's a dream with fundraising.
Thank you, Treasurer, appreciate that. Next on our agenda, I've already said welcome, I've already said Happy New Year, and I am glad to see returning faces and new faces. And I don't see any elected officials. I know that our state representatives are in session now. But I would give the opportunity to anyone who this is their first meeting, they're welcome to stand and introduce themselves. Do we have any first timers?
Well, this isn't my first meeting, but I'm hoping this will be my first meeting as a member. I'm Megan. Nice to meet you.
Welcome, Megan.
Me also, I was here at the last meeting, but I didn't get to speak. My name is Monica.
Hi, Monica.
Monica, welcome.
Anyone else?
I'd like to say that my name is Michelle. I've been here for the past 2 meetings, and like some of my other people here, I'm hoping to be a member here. Oh, right, 3 meetings. This is my 3rd. I'm hoping to be a meeting here soon, so nice to meet all y'all. Hope to be friends with all of you very soon.
Okay, Michelle.
I'm Daniel. I'm an Augusta native. I've been living in Belgium the last 6 years. This is my first meeting.
Oh, welcome. Anyone else?
I'm Jared Gay, also my 3rd meeting. Nice to meet all of you.
Hey, I'm Melissa. This is my 2nd meeting, and I also hope to become a member tonight.
Anyone else?
Hey, my name's Jason. It's nice to meet all you. It's my first time.
Hey, Jason.
My name's Carlos. I've been a few times. Nice to meet all y'all.
Hi, Carlos. Welcome.
I'm Thomas. This is my 2nd meeting, and I brought my notarized voter registration. I'd like to apply to join.
Anyone else? Okay. With that, I will bring up our 2nd vice chair again for election of committee members.
Point of order. Were these elections publicized in the newspaper for 2 weeks last
We're
month?
filling vacancies, so they were not.
So these are not countywide elections or caucus elections?
No, we're doing recertification for current members and vacancies for new. Because all of our districts have vacancies.
Point of order. Where is that in the charter and bylaws?
I'm gonna say this in the words of,
I call it point of order.
That's,
I want to say this in the word of first Vice President. Good evening, Democrats.
Good evening.
I'm so delighted to see all of you. I'm new, a lot of us new, we're all new, and thank God we all are here. The Augusta Democratic Committee is a representative committee in which we have 15 committee members represented from each of the districts. Like District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, all the way up to District 8. And we have the choice of, we fill vacancies. We fill vacancies constantly. When someone passes away, we fill a vacancy. When someone withdraws, we fill a vacancy. When someone misses more than 3 meetings. Now the vacancy occurred. And each of the districts, it's our responsibility, the membership committee, to make sure that we recommend to the executive committee individuals to help fill the vacancies that we have. As I said, we have the vacancies. But the first thing I need to do tonight is to recertify. Each time you come in, you can maybe fill an unexpired term, and your term runs out. Everyone has a lease on their term. Once the term runs out, then we have to come back and recertify the process over again. And if you miss, again, as I mentioned before, if you miss more than 3 meetings and you don't recertify, that means you have to physically show up to get recertified. You can't just send a note in or call on the phone and tell the president, I want to be recertified. No, they require you to come in for person to put in your application, and we also require you to come in person to the day that we vote you in. To even to feel a recertified, fill a new slot. So I just want to get all that out of the way so you know we're representative. Currently we have 15 slots per district. Now, I know the Madam President will come back later on and talk how we arrive at 15. At one point in time there were 10. Then they raised that number up to try and accommodate our community. So again, if we decide to raise that, then we can go back. But I need to go to recertifying the ones who walked in the end of 2016. We had so much going on. We didn't recertify them, so I need to, at this time, recertify the ones that were, time would have been expired, but been, thankfully, they extended us 1 more month. Because some of the names I'm going to read out that wouldn't be able to speak if we hadn't been extended 1 month. For the first district, we're Krishna, that's you.
That's me.
Lord Greenbaum, that's you. Gloria Greenbaum, that's you. Dollar Jones, where are you? Julia Bay, where are you? Some of these are sick, I know that. Terrence Dix, Dennis Williams, Mitty out,
He's out of town.
Wilbur Jr., Wilbur Jordan Jr. No, that's right, he was not supposed to be here. I'm sorry, I called the wrong name. Eugenia McAllister, Hilda Fennessy,
She's sick.
Barbara Stenstrom.
Right
there.
Where are you, Barbara? I wanted to see your hand. Daniel Thompson, we had to excuse him, right? All right. Bignol Morgan, L.C. Myers, Matessa Wright, Harold Jones,
He's in,
Linda Wiley,
Harold's in,
They're in session.
Judith Crouch, Pat Embry, George Green, Isadora Green, Christopher Johnson, yeah. Michael, well, Mike, I saw Mike. He had to work tonight. He said he had to work tonight. He did that at the work tonight. Harold Rosen, Samara. What's Samara?
Oh, come on.
What's Samara? Jerry White, he was out, and Mona White. These are the ones we had to recertify. And keep that time rolling over for another, how many years?
4.
Another 4 years. See, that's how it rolled. Every 4 years, you roll in and roll out, provided that you're on what, even?
Even.
What happened if come on audit?
You're filling a vacancy.
2 years.
Yeah.
You tell them.
Every 2 years, for the benefit of the newcomers, every 2 years there's a group that's coming off.
Yep.
Okay? So therefore you got to make sure you adhere to the three meeting process and know when your term up. Know when your turn come up so you won't be caught out there. Luckily we had so much going on. So can I get a
question.
what's that?
Okay, I come with somebody, you know, my friend. If I don't, and she's not here, I cannot come to the meeting.
Call me.
Huh?
Call me.
Call you?
Yeah,
Okay.
call me.
I will get your number.
That's right.
Thank
Just
you
call me.
so much.
Call me.
Thank you.
If you can't call me, call anybody in here. Make sure there's somebody in the box for you.
Okay. Thank you.
We're not gonna be hard fast. Just
Church
can't.
nurse, the agenda has all the officers. You can call any one of them to let us know that you can't make it. Okay?
All right.
One more question.
The young lady sitting in front.
Hold on a second. Ms. Martinez.
Martinez, thanks.
It is Martinez.
Right. So is there an
It's just
accessible
something
list
that's
that
wrong.
shows how many members are currently in each district? So we know how many seats we may need to fill?
Well, we're working on that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I asked you earlier. We need to work
Oh,
on it.
I'm ready.
Who's your record keeper? Where are these records?
We're working on it. Yeah,
Working on record?
We got a president. We don't even know how much money he made last year. So this is a new day. So we gotta get used to a new way of operating. All right, now.
Here's your hand up.
Oh, go ahead.
You stated that if you miss 3 meetings,
You may be.
right, so I just want to
Yes.
clarify for the body, you're saying three absences, consecutive absences, may take you off the roster.
Yes.
May means you may be asked to resign your seat, correct?
No.
But you have to be.
No, you have to be asked to
Because I'm looking
resign.
at the charter and bylaws right here. It says that 3 consecutive meetings, you may be asked to resign your seat, not that it's
Members can be removed from the committee for cause for one of the following: failure of public.
All right, no, but this is I can push it to that particular line.
All right.
In any case, I understand that we're recertifying right now, but I just want to make sure the information we give is accurate.
But see, what we're gonna do, I'm glad you raised that question. The reason why I'm glad to ask the question, we're advocating a membership committee was assigned to sign up a membership committee. What we wanna do, let me tell you what we wanna do. We wanna make sure when somebody walks in the door, they're clear, okay? With the expectation, even down to the $15. I believe that you should be in an organization you're not required to pay money, but the law doesn't allow us to do that, okay? So, you know, I understand there's some rules, there's some written rules and some expected rules. So we understand, but I believe that people need to know that when they walk in the door, they need to know that we're gonna operate on the Robert's Rules of Order plus the organization has its own set of rules in addition. So when we can't come in here and bring somebody else rules into our operation. So please, I'm talking. I don't like this.
Okay, your chair interrupted.
Nobody interrupt me.
Thank you.
I'm chairing right now.
I apologize, Chris.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Go ahead.
Yeah, we let him in.
Yeah, there's
So-
a problem.
So
You've got
listen.
this thing and it's
Listen,
interfering.
my issue is that, look, we're gonna ask everybody who wants to work with us on membership committee to work with us. Because we have more than 40,000 people who voted Democratic in the last election. Which according to our bylaws, right, every one of them are really a part of our party. So we want to really make sure that we be as much inclusive as possible. And we also want to make sure we, you know, Madam President, Madam Chair Lady gonna come and explain all that to you. But what I want to do right quick is say, we got a motion on the floor to recertify?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Now the new people, there's some people that gonna replace some seats. Let me understand this. This is clear. We have vacancies on every district. We have vacancies on every district. Our task is to fill vacancies before we start talking about recreating new positions, okay? So we need to now fill some vacancies. So there are some names that some people who turned in their list, and I want to apologize to you. I may not have gotten the information to the committee to be voted upon. So if you don't hear your name tonight, do me a favor, please, 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 please. I know we're in James Brown time. Please, please. If you don't hear your name, please, just see me. I want to make sure that, you know, we be as accommodating as possible, okay? So just understand, you know. So coming in to replace some seats. The following.
Before you start, may I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Don't crack the doors. I can't breathe.
Long as who's gonna stand guard just in case a prowler walk in the door?
Is there a way just to crack it so the prowler knows not really it?
There, that works.
I'll turn
Let's make some money. Let's just crack the door. Yeah, there you go.
All right. All right. Now, again, I want to state, I guess, a professional disclaimer, right? If I miss your name, clown it to my heart, not the head, not the heart, and we're going to try to make sure we work everybody, okay? I just want to let you know we're going to, but I have to submit people to the executive committee. So even though you may have turned it in and I cannot recommend to the executive committee on site. I just want to let you know that. So I just want to make sure everybody aware. So the first person I'm going to ask is Megan Landis to stand.
That worked out well.
Megan Landis comes to us to want to offer herself to fill a vacancy in which she has duly gone through the process. And again, I didn't lose your application. You want to know, but we asked her to comment and let us know what district you live in. Voting district.
I live in Richmond County. I'm not sure what voting
What district? Where you vote? Where your street address?
It's on Windsor Spring and Tobacco Road.
Windsor Spring, Tobacco Road.
That should be 6.
All right. So now let me say this. I understand that we have a straight, but I want to say this because I want to make sure everyone come in to know when you come in, make sure you have all that in place. Please, just help me out. Just help us out, please. Because I don't want somebody to say you put in the 12th district, you actually live in the 6th district.
I mean,
It's on my paperwork.
there was actually a significant portion of us that did not fill out our district designation because Matessa said that she would fill it in for us when we filled it out in the original November meeting.
Okay, all right. Like I said, we're straight now. We're going forward.
I thought that.
All right. Brittany Jones. Brittany Jones. Tell us something about you right quick. Where you live at?
I live on Lake Homestead,
Lake Homestead.
and I'm a stay-at-home mother of 3.
Very good. We're happy to have you. You said 3?
3.
How old are they?
5, 2, and 5 months.
Huh? 5, 2, and 5 months.
A girl and 2 boys.
That's the word. Gregory Hill. Well, we can't. All right, move on. Melanie Lee Lacey. We have to bring Greg up next time. Melanie Lacey. What Melanie? Melanie. All right.
Please let me see it. I can do it. Let me see it.
Bonita Terrell. Hey, Bonita, tell us something about you.
Well, I'm in Commission District 2. I live on Whitney Street. I'm across from the VA hospital.
I just turned off the alarm.
I served in the Navy for 26 years. I'm currently a government employee. I'm about to retire, so I'm going to have a lot of free time. And I'm very happy to...
You have free time?
I'm about to retire, so it's either find something to do or start dressing the shih tzus and...
Got black zone? All right. Monica Martinez.
Still get it right.
I know.
That's me.
All right. Some people have an excused absent on there. Sarah Lynn Martin. She has an excuse. Jim Hancock. Rosemary Fitzpatrick.
She's not here.
Sheila Martin.
She's not here.
All right, Robert Warren. Ann Warren. Gloria J. Donald. Yeah. Gloria Shannon. I already called Clara's name out. Clara Shannon, I didn't call your name out. I didn't call your name out. No. I thought I did. All right. Dolly Jones.
Nope.
Sean Francis.
Nope.
Okay. And so I didn't got called out. Gloria Johnson, who's out. William Fennoy is tied up tonight. And Raymond Lampkin is also tied up tonight.
So name the ones who were, so stand up, the ones who names were called that are here, please stand up.
Stand up, the ones who are here.
Those aren't all the names, are they? Oh.
Those all I had on my sheet when I turned it on tonight.
What about the rest of us who filled in
I
our
got to see me,
application?
just see me out. So I got some more. All right, do you have the ones in front of your names been called? Can I get a motion on the floor?
Is there a limit to the number that can be approved in a single meeting?
No.
I'm
These are all women,
just trying to
that's
understand.
I'm gonna say
I was thinking that
So
myself.
what happened to the other applications?
Let's change it then.
Excuse me,
like I said,
We filled in paperwork at the same time as these people. Why are we being voted on?
like I said, as I mentioned,
Gotta make those records? Yeah, we talked about that.
all right, then that's just true. So I can't come back on what I can't change something that's fact.
Excuse me, I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I called Sean Francis. I called Sean Francis. Yes, sir.
Is it not a violation of due diligence if you do not get to all of the names that have been processed according to one meeting that should be voted on the next meeting according to your own charter and bylaws? Okay.
That is what the
Can you
charter and
cite-
bylaws
Can
say,
you cite
though.
that, please? Can somebody of authority
It
please
says
cite?
you're voted
All
on
right,
at the
why?
next meeting.
Now we have, like I said, please
I
here.
filled out 2 applications.
We all have.
Yeah, me too.
What does CB mean? What-
Twice.
So you're telling me that you want to answer this question
Yeah,
off a record?
all right,
Okay.
parliamentarian spoken, we got a motion on the floor. Can I get a second motion?
Second.
Deny.
All right.
all in favor?
Deny.
All opposed?
Same.
Hey,
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 hey.
hey.
Hey, that's a loud voice.
Hey.
I would like to now, thank you, Second Vice Chair. I would like now to call up Jean Emery to help us commemorate the Martin Luther King holiday that's upon us now.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
I want to tell you a little bit about somebody that you know something about. Yeah, that's all right.
Dr. King said that children would grow up to live together and work together. That is our generation. Dr. King would be ashamed of what y'all are doing to the Democratic Party in this city. That's what Dr. King would think.
Or nationwide, as a matter of fact.
But I'm new, and I want to give the new establishment a chance to establish order.
Matessa, is that all the people that are going to be voted on
This is
tonight?
new.
That list all that your name was not called, as the chair
It's a
said,
continuation of
there
the
were
old
some
law.
But let's see what happens.
that were
Let's see
not
what happens.
submitted.
It's a
We'll
new
see.
year. Give
We've
them
been
a
seeing
moment.
And they'll be submitted.
I handed
Yeah.
my paper to you
Yeah,
personally.
I did
Yes.
as well.
Yes, me
And he
too.
has to, there's a process, and they weren't submitted.
So you didn't give it to him?
I didn't say I didn't give it to him. I
No, but
said
you're telling me there's a process.
the process was not
And that's a
submitted.
violation of due diligence.
Did they just not get brought up yet, or is it
Those
they
of you
were
who were not
rejected?
voted in tonight, please see Chris after the meeting.
Okay, I
Okay?
will.
All right. Okay.
You know, I expect this from
As I
the
said, some
start.
applications, they did lost, some applications were not up to, some applications were still being researched on.
I don't know what you know about me.
Well, I brought a
I've
notarized
been
copy
here
of
for
my
27
registration.
years
I have
of
your
my life
research.
in the same house. I have voted Democratic in every election since 2008. What do you need to research me on?
We do vote builder.
It takes
We
2
look
minutes
at
to
primary,
verify
I'm on vote builder.
registration.
Okay, and what does that tell me? I don't know what the hell vote builder is.
I do, and I'm on Vote Builder. I know I am because I used to work for Field
I
Builder.
understand your concern.
I brought a notarized
This is
copy
2
from
months.
the Board of Elections
This is
with my
2
voter
months that you've done this to
registration.
us.
Quiet!
Quiet.
It's a new.
Quiet!
I'm gonna start this, now, we need to move this meeting on. And
No, we need
No,
to answer the question.
I think we do need
No, we
to.
don't need to answer the questions.
You need, The
We
chair
asked
is
last
in
month
charge.
to have the
When the
answer,
chair,
have the question answered.
when the
You
chair is
threatened her.
talking.
Well, it was threatened to have
It
us
doesn't
through,
take
and
3
we asked
meetings
to
to
have the
verify.
question answered
Exactly.
last night.
Sergeant at Arms,
You're
hold your
not
own
answering
people
the
accountable.
question now.
Yeah.
Hold your
Yeah,
own people
do your
accountable.
job.
Hold your people
Do your
accountable.
job.
I'm doing my job, and the meeting is out of order. Will you sit down?
No.
Well, out the
You are
door. No,
keeping
out the
people
door.
out.
No.
Functionally, this county is keeping people out. You can't even explain why.
And they are denying our membership.
It's January, they just started.
Give us a
Give
chance.
them the new
The
ones.
transition
We've been
period
in this
is
for
not
3 months asking to be members, and they are not letting us join.
Wow, that's our old administration, this is a new.
When did you
Give them
apply?
a chance, and if they
When-
do,
when did you apply,
I'm
ma'am?
not talking to you.
When did you apply,
I'm talking to
ma'am?
him. Let me finish.
When did you apply, ma'am?
Sir,
When
I
did you
worked
apply, ma'am?
since March last year. I forgot to put my paperwork in. I work with no paperwork. I have no problems with this place. I want to see order.
Okay, stop
I'm not
shouting,
coming
stop
to a
shouting,
meeting to
stop
hear.
You wanna see
this.
order, but you're
Let me
yelling
say
at-
no.
you're yelling at me.
Here's what because I have
You
to
wanna
raise
see
my
order, you
voice
wanna yell at
because
me.
five
let's all
people
yell. Let's
talk.
all yell.
No.
You wanna yell? Let's all yell.
Hold
Fuck
on.
this shit.
No, I wasn't yelling eventually. To be heard, I
get me
raised my
crunked up.
voice. I'm new too. You can get crunked up all you want, but logic
you don't
is
wanna
what's
see me
going to
crunked up,
solve
I
this.
guarantee it.
Let's be logical. And here's the
Charter
logic.
and bylaws.
Here's
Then
the
they need to
logic.
follow their
May I
own rules
finish?
that they are
May
not
I
doing.
finish? You're not
Okay.
allowing me to finish.
You didn't let me
I
finish.
knew as well as you. And what I'm saying is, the problems that were there, we have a new establishment here now. I'm with you on that. I want to see everything calm. I want to see the chaos resolved. But this is, may I finish?
Then over the past,
May I
if you want to
finish?
see the chaos
May I
resolved, then you would have
finish?
been here for the
May
past 3
I
months
have-
when we've been fighting to be
I've been
members.
here. I know all about it.
Let's resolve it.
All I'm saying is this, and this is what I'm asking. I don't dismiss anything that anyone has experienced. I'm looking for a solution because I want to see this work.
Okay.
So what I'm suggesting, the new administration a chance.
The solution
and
is in the
hold
bylaw.
them to the fire, but give them a chance.
You know, invading personal space is
Thank
Hold
you.
their feet to the
Thank
fire,
you.
but give them a
Thank you.
chance.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is why.
Thank you.
This is why.
At a national level. At a national level, this is happening.
Thank you, Samara.
Can I just ask a question? Give them a chance.
Sure.
Stop.
Yes, you can ask a
Stop.
question.
Really?
You can ask
Give
a
them a
question.
chance.
You can ask
Give them a chance. Stop it.
You want to see the
Stop
email?
it.
I'll show you.
Okay, stop. It's do me nothing. Let's work together.
As the only thing that I actually don't understand is somebody trying to join, is it really that complicated? Because I don't remember filling out anything. Maybe I did. but
You're
I don't
hurt for
remember.
money. You're hurt for people. Let
Okay,
us join.
wait.
Donations, money.
And I just wanted to know personally, because I thought really you could just come in and say, I like to be a member, I always pay dues. I always pay dues, okay? Because I know you guys need money. But I'm trying to understand this because it seems like last time we were here, they were sort of denied something, whatever that
Unilaterally
Univocally, like you, we asked, we asked.
Michelle, let her talk. Please.
Thank you. No, it is not complicated. However, at the exec committee, we went through the applications that we had. There are some applications that we, for whatever reason, in the transition between myself and Chris, they have gotten misplaced.
That's
And there are some,
That's
and there are
bullshit.
some
That's convenient.
applications,
a new administration.
and there are some applications.
We gave our applications to her. She misplaced them. She's your new administration.
Okay,
She's
you
cleaning up a lot of
Twice.
stuff.
Okay, you
Is that
guys.
I know what that's like.
It's not acceptable.
It is not acceptable.
It is not
to
acceptable.
misplace applications.
It
There
is
were
mis-
some.
it is.
There are some applications.
You should be ashamed.
Let her finish.
There
Maybe
are
she
some
is.
applications that when approved to the when brought to the exec committee, there were concerns about those persons' loyalty to the Democratic Party. Therefore,
We're here. I voted in
we
the
have
Democratic
wanted
primary
to do some
for years.
and so
So
anyone.
you're indicating that it's becoming personal at this
There's
point.
no.
I've canvassed
No.
for the Democratic
The
Party
people
of
that you
Georgia.
approved
Like,
tonight
and
are
some
ones that
people-
have not spoken up in past meetings, and the people that you have denied
Point of
tonight
order.
And
have
some
been
people, there's
people
no
that
point
have
of order. I'm
spoken
not
up.
acknowledging. I'm not acknowledging you.
Point of order.
Some of the
I'm using Robert's Rules of
and
Order.
some people actually live in Columbia, do not live in Richmond County.
One to
So-
who? I want to
so
hear
we-
the person who actually does live in Richmond County and has the paperwork to prove that he
So
changed.
we brought forth the names that were approved by the exec committee that are here tonight. Anyone else, we are asking to meet with you after the meeting.
I feel
Okay,
much
we
better.
absolutely will.
I mean, I think that's a good idea too. But I think I'd feel a lot better if we went ahead and talked about it now. I don't because it really is.
If you have nothing to hide, let's talk about it.
I mean, at least let us know why we were denied.
Can we cite the charter and bylaws, please?
Just excuse me, Law. Excuse me a minute.
I'm calling point of order. By Robert's rules, I should be acknowledged.
Excuse me.
Give him a chance.
Yes,
You
sir.
haven't asked for the floor.
Yeah, floor.
Now, you know, and I understand, I'm not saying our process is without flaw. I mean, we got a new administration here, we're trying to put stuff together.
Illegally.
This is, the vice chair, he's in sponsor of the membership committee. I mean, there was some applications that, the application that we came to the committee, we voted on all of those applications. I mean, but
And I allege that that is a violation of due process.
I'm just saying.
Well, what do the rules say?
You know,
Right,
the rules are right there.
That anything that's submitted in the previous meeting is voted on in the next meeting. That's what the rules say.
That is what the bylaws say.
What the bylaws say.
Point of order.
How did you respond to that?
Come on, you guys, let him talk now, stop it.
I can't talk
Stop
if you
it.
guys are talking. I'm trying to talk, but you're not giving me an opportunity to speak. And that's not democratic either. I'm just saying.
He called a point of order.
I am the first vice chair.
Thank you.
I was at the committee when all of these applications were brought up. We voted on all of the applications. You know, I mean, Chris was just taking over as the membership chair. And I don't know. He had some things that he said himself that he had some applications that didn't come before the committee.
Why? That's all we're asking is why.
Well, I mean, I don't know whether they had them or who had them, but they didn't come before them. There wasn't all of the executive committee can do is go by the application that was in. He's already promised. You talk to him, he's going to answer. Each one of you that had an issue with it, and ensure that he has your application or whatever. I don't even know what the original problem is.
That's what we're trying to
He didn't
figure
bring
out.
it. If you talk to him, he's the guy with the answer. That's
Sir,
why
were our applications
That's why he said he
denied?
wanted to talk to
Or
you.
why were they not voted
after
on?
the meeting? Let's go on with
And
the
I'm
meeting.
asking And I'm asking him to.
But we can't do it. It's not part of the meeting.
It is part of the meeting. It's on the agenda minutes. I mean, it's on the agenda.
Okay.
The chair has determined.
Right now I have the chair. I just want you to give us a chance, okay?
Give us a
Nobody's been.
chance.
No, we are.
He's been trying to call a point of order, and everybody's been ignoring him.
That's true.
But you know,
Very civilly, letting everyone else
He's got the
speak.
rules right there and pulled
I don't
up.
know what he's going.
I'm
to
into
do.
this one, not that one, this one.
Because he's speaking about the rules.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear about that.
In DPG, it's in Robert's rules in DPG that if someone wants to cite the charter and bylaws in a meeting, it has to be honored. Is that? Can you verify that? Okay. Can I have the floor just for a moment to cite charter bylaws? I will not have the floor.
Point of order, please.
To cite our own charter bylaws.
Can we just go free with the meeting, and then if you have some issues, you can go. You got all kind of avenues to go in.
Vice Chair, can I just cite one line in the charter bylaws and I'll sit down?
Well, I mean, no, she doesn't say how.
This is legally how you're supposed to do this, how he's doing
I
it.
just want to point to the GPG who will see this video.
Right.
Richmond County is silencing a member from calling a point of order and reading directly from the charter and bylaws. The first Vice Chair, Elsie Miles, and the new Chair, Mateta, who is a lawyer.
You taking the video, because I take the video of me actually ought to let her continue. Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, but I think you feel differently if you were being.
Okay.
They're going against their own laws, so fuck what you talking
It has
about.
been explained by these folks that there is a process of membership that is not written in the charter and bylaws. All the charter and bylaws says is that RCDC will be the sole judge of the qualifications of its own members and by a majority will fill vacancies in said committee. There is no process by which any application should be vetted first by the executive committee. That is an unwritten rule that Lowell's administration for 16 years has been using that none of us were aware of. All the charter and bylaws state is that we, the body, approve everyone who submits an application. Therefore, if there is a question of loyalty or if there is a question of residency, we, the body, are the ones who determine that. I want us all to know, because we need to know as responsible members, as fiduciary members of this county who represent all Democrats and all voters in this county. Why it is our executive committee is following unwritten rules instead of what is written in here is appalling, and it should be a shame. We have members who have submitted applications more than once now, and we, the body, are the only people, according to the charter and bylaws here, section 2C, who should be the determinants of that. Why it is they've had to apply more than once, why it is they've been unilaterally denied, and why it is even at the last meeting they did not follow the charter and bylaws should concern all of us. Whether you like me or whether you don't. Whether you think I'm being rude and disrespectful or whether you think I'm actually genuinely care about the progression of this county.
I think it's because they want to force this response so that we look like we're being disruptive.
Thank you. I would also like for it to be, thank you. I also like for it to be recorded that in Article 5, election committee officers, section D, vacancies. In the event of a vacancy before a term is completed, the 3-person nominating committee appointed by the chair will present names to fill a vacancy to the executive committee. The executive committee will select nominees to be presented to the RCDC in a timely fashion for ratification, and that is the process we've been following for that.
Where? Cite it.
But Chair,
That has nothing to do with general member.
I am not recognizing any more points of order. This is a meeting. We have lots of things to get through this agenda, and I would now like to recall Jean Emery to the floor for Martin Luther King Day. I will ask your respect. If you cannot give this your respect, please be silent. Jean, thank you.
Just remember what William Barber said.
Wait.
Shut up.
No.
That was nasty.
Thank you.
Wasn't very politically correct.
Talk about it. They said after the meeting. If you don't like it, come to the next meeting and let everybody know.
We've been doing it 3 times.
Yeah, this is the
Good.
third
Do it one more
month in a
time.
row.
New administration.
I'll be here.
One more
Don't
time.
worry,
I'll
do
be here.
it.
Give them a chance.
The new administration knows exactly what's going
Give
on.
it a
They
chance.
do.
Let's let
Say
them
that about
do
Trump
it.
too, baby. It's
And maybe they're trying to clean it up. Give
Please,
them
Jean Emery.
Maybe they're not.
Try to be quiet so
Yeah, thank you.
Emery can speak.
I want your undivided attention. I'm
Yes,
working.
ma'am.
You're right, Jean.
So give me a hand now so you can. I'm going to try to tell you, and I don't talk it so loudly, so if you want to scream over me, you leave, okay? I want to tell you 2 stories about, and you've probably heard them before, but it's good to hear them again, about the person Martin Luther King Jr., who was a peaceful man. Is there any peace in here?
Yes.
A little bit.
I've been peaceful.
No.
He's a revolution.
That's all the way it is.
Bad question.
For a revolution. Bad question. You don't have to.
Now, shut up until I finish! I've done a lot of studying and whatnot to bring this to you. You're important to me. But it doesn't seem as though I'm very important to you. Back to Martin Luther King Jr. When he was young, he was innocent like most of you are. He didn't know many things about, shall I say, disruptiveness, people who weren't of the same color, people who didn't live in the same area. He was not aware of all of that because he was sheltered a wee bit. But he became very well as far as speaking is concerned. He was a great speaker. He loved words. He was something that we call a wordsmith. And he studied all the time. And when he'd tell you something, he could tell you the same thing about 100 words, different words. Made it interesting. He found that he wanted to be a preacher. Why? Well, his grandfather was a preacher, his father was a preacher, and it was sort of expected of him that he become a preacher. But then he thought, I don't know about preaching because nobody wants to listen. But he had a congregation that he was a part of who did want to listen. And so, knowing that he was such a soft person, sort of a quiet person, a thinking person, not one who shot off at the mouth all the time, he said he had something to say. So he asked his dad, who was called Daddy King, who was really firm, almost unreasonable sometimes, and would say, if he didn't think of it, thinking about Daddy King, if he didn't think of it, if it wasn't his idea, it wasn't going to happen. Well, Martin Luther King's mother was the other person who said, Oh yes, my son wants to speak, let's let him speak. So they had a little family problem. That was fine. The people started to talk to him and say, hey, you're going to seminary school. Why don't you speak to us? Because Daddy doesn't think I can speak well enough. But this kept on for maybe about a month or two. When finally, his daddy said, well, you can speak in the basement. Fine, I'd like to speak in the basement. Thank you, Daddy, and so forth and so on. But as soon as the congregation heard that he was going to speak, they gathered, because he had a certain Sunday, and this was like Children's Day or something. It was a very important day, that he could speak. The Daddy King said he could speak. All of the members started to round up and say, hey, you going to hear Martin Luther King? They used to have a nickname for him. I said, yeah, I think so, because he speaks all the time. I think it would be great. Daddy King had not given the approval for him to speak to any place but in the basement on that one particular Sunday. People started to come about 7 o'clock in the morning. Old people, young people. They brought chairs. They did, this is in Atlanta now. Beautiful day, sun shining, gorgeous day. So everybody came out, put on their finery because they wanted to hear M.L. King speak. Well, the basement wasn't that large, maybe this size, a little bit larger than this. And it started to fill up with people, a lot of people. People were out on the sidewalk, then they were out in the street, then they were around the corner, and people talked and brought their home chairs from home, because many of them lived in the area, so they could sit down. Well, finally, the head deacon went to Daddy King and said, you know, we're not going to be able to give this down here. It's not going to fit. Can't we use the sanctuary? Daddy said, I don't think so. What's he got to say? He said, I really think you ought to open the church. So with the first deacon of the whatever, however the hierarchy is, getting Martin Luther King's father to say, well, I guess it's all right. And he sat back. Because he was like some of you, he didn't want to, he didn't think he was smart enough to do this, but you'll see, we'll let him fall on his face, kind of thing. Well, people started, as I told you, to, excuse me, to line up. And after they lined up, then they started to sing. And they had some great voices at that particular church. This is outside, this is before the congregation had even, the sermon had even begun. But once it began, everybody was quiet, as you are. Everybody was listening, except voices that started to come. Beautiful voices. And this was the choir. The choir was looking forward to this anyway. And they didn't want to sing in the basement, but they were starting to sing upstairs. And it went on and on and on. With some, sometimes some of us who were Baptists know that you can take one verse and go on and on and on. Yeah. So this is what happened. Until finally, Daddy King came up and said, we're going to hear the sermon now. Nobody announces the sermon, but he did, and that was fine. Of course, being a little nervous, MLK kind of thought, I don't know what he's going to do next, never knowing what Daddy King would do. But he sat down in the pulpit on the side and listened to his son preach beautifully, and listened to, they had loudspeakers, So the people outside heard all this too. And they heard all the voices. And everybody was amazed at how beautifully Martin Luther King could speak. They had no idea that he had such a voice, melodious voice, one that could talk to you so that you understood. It was great. Then, of course, they clapped for everybody, so you can clap for me too. I'll tell you another, just to calm you down a little, another version of some other things about Martin Luther King. He wrote books, but his first book was Stride for Freedom. And this was, he had gone to New York City to publicize this. It was pretty well known by this point. And the book was really a beautiful one, it said. So, he had a place for book signing. I'm a writer, and it's nothing like having a great place for book signing. He went to I've forgotten the name of one of the hotels in New York and set up there, although he'd gone all around to publicize his book, which was a good idea. He's sitting at his chair at at the desk that they'd given him. And of course, there were pictures of him around. And there was a long line of people waiting to have this book autographed, which was really well known then. So he's waiting, and then he starts to sign, and people start to come up, and he tells them something nice. Each person, he said something personal to them to write in his book. And then they gave it to him. Then some lady walks up, she's still in line, and she says, "Are you Martin Luther King?" And he said, "Yes." As he said this, he's still writing something for the person over here. And he says this, she pulls out in something that was like a handbag, a 7-inch letter opener.
Right.
Stabbed him right in the chest.
Yep, that happened.
And he's sitting there. And he doesn't move. Of course, it's a good thing he didn't move. But they called the police and all of the things that one does when it is happening like that. And you're having so many happenings now. But anyway, they brought the emergency people, took him to Harlem Hospital, right into the emergency room, because had they not done that, he would have died. And the doctor said after he was able to talk to him, Martin Luther King said to him, "If you had sneezed," and many of you may have heard that, "if you had sneezed, you would have died." And they wondered, "Oh, what do you mean? If he had sneezed?" This letter opener was just about 1/4 of an inch next past the heart. He had an organ. And if he had sneezed, it would have punctured that. He would have drowned in his own blood. So this is an awful thing to hear about. But he was rejuvenated. He was sewn up. He got better and went on to do the other things that you know that he did. But in many of his sermons, he said how grateful he was to God, because if he had sneezed, he wouldn't be here to tell you to be peaceful, to learn about it, to guard against your anger, and try to listen to somebody else. And that love was the answer to it all. Thank you.
Thank you. That was our third vice chair. I appreciate that, James.
It relates to Dr. Martin Luther King. Can I say something in regards to Martin Luther King, please?
Point of order.
Point of order.
In essence of time,
Just a quick quote.
you can bring that on at the end.
He also said riots are the language of the unheard. You familiar with that quote?
Thank you.
And he warned against moderates.
As William Barber said, standing down is not an option. He highlighted 64 to 67 of Dr. King in his most revolutionary statements.
I want to again appreciate those of you who are here tonight. I want to let you know that I take this very seriously. And I understand that there are some hurt feelings, there are some misunderstandings, and I understand there are some hurt feelings, there might be some misunderstandings, but I want you to know that I do respect you. And in return, I want you to respect me. You may not have to agree with me. This is not a perfect party. We are not a perfect people. I am not a perfect person. Now, honestly, I've worked for 3 or 4 days on a speech. I've been advised and mentored more than I could tell you, trying to get ready for tonight. I don't understand why you don't think I don't have the right to be here. I don't understand why some of you may not have respect for me. I can only be me. And I recognize that you can only be you. And I want us to work out these differences, but I also want you to understand that we want people here who want to work for the Democratic Party of Richmond County. There might be some progressive issues, there might be some Democratic issues, heck, there might even be some Republican issues that we can get behind. But I need everybody in this place to be a team. I can't get this done. I have 2 children. I want to get home to the night before they go to bed so I can kiss them. I don't have time for y'all to tie us up. We need everybody. We are not trying to turn anybody around, but we will not accept people who actually don't stand for our principles, who actually are stating other things on radio, on TV, that are not of democratic principles.
Freedom of speech is a democratic principle.
Like what?
Freedom of speech is a democratic principle, but to be in this party, there are principles and there are ideas that we're all trying to get behind, and one of them that we are trying to get behind is 2018. We all know who we got coming in next week on the 20th. Now he's got one scandal after another, and I don't plan to sit here and relate all of his scandals. I don't even plan here to talk about the great speech from Obama. I don't even plan to talk about Cory Booker's speech standing up for Jeff Sessions. Those are happening. You all have a newspaper, you all have a radio. We can talk amongst those things as we have time. This party is about business, and you don't have to be a committee member to be business. What the committee membership really gives you is the right to vote on financial issues. Everything else is fair game. Everything else is fair game.
We can vote for elections, though. I would like to remind
So,
you rejected my request to speak on it. That's a nice thing, but you requested my request. You did not allow
I still have the floor, Joey. Thank you for yours. I am making a speech. I'm not taking questions right now. I
would like to say very briefly. I'm sorry. I have a point.
I understand.
I just wanted to ask a question, a clarification question, if you don't mind.
Wait till she
understand.
finish. Well, wait till she finish.
I have a clarification question.
Wait till she finish.
Please.
I will take.
You mentioned. You just talked about respect.
You
talked about respect. I just want to say I really respect your leadership.
Thank you.
Of course, and that should always be number one. I just want to say number two. Was there the allegation that people had been speaking on, you said on the radio and on television? Oh, okay.
Yeah, television wouldn't cover
as
us.
an
We
outsider,
tried.
As an outsider,
like this holding in
hold on, wait. I was just very confused by that comment. Thank you.
May I just say something? Let me get this straight. I love it because these younger people are here. I love them because they have a lot of energy. I am so glad to see them all. I absolutely mean that. Because quite frankly, I didn't think we were moving too fast. But by the same token, I do want to get one thing across. And this coming from me is a big deal because I'm one of the person to give you my opinion real quick.
You're right about that.
But I don't want us to start acting like they did at the Trump rallies where people were calling out and acting up. I really don't want that because it became a circus here for a minute. I want us to be civil. I don't want us to be uncivil because I think we're the country, not just here. I think the country is becoming uncivil. We have to kind of dampen that a bit. So all I'm just asking is, Matessa is new. Please give her a chance. I know you guys have issues and they need to deal with those issues. I absolutely agree with that. So just do it quietly and do it civilly.
But they're not giving us recourse to do that.
But she's saying that they're going to talk to you afterwards.
As long as we have.
But I would like it to be transparent. I would like the people to know what the. Well, I mean,
tell us when and where.
Nobody's forcing you to stay.
I love you today.
But I think that might go into the definition of what you see as respect. I'm up here trying to lay out what I'm trying to do for the party. And I will take questions at the end. Okay? So if you can hold your comments,
that's reasonable.
take questions
Thank
at
you.
the end.
Totally not.
Okay? Because I agree with the mayor, we need young blood. But you also have to understand that ones that appear that have been toiling, been struggling for a while, we have wisdom and we have our own strengths that we can share with you. This is not it or his or her or tit for tat type of thing. The Democratic Party needs you. I need you. We need a team. We're all busy. This is a volunteer gig, guys. No one's getting paid to be here. Honestly, I am paying to do this job. I am paying to do this job. Liz asked me to give me some dues. And so I have paid because you're not paying me to do the job. And I've been where you guys are.
Not only that, but we have a daunting task with Trump coming in, so we've got bigger issues.
Right, so
times have changed.
And I'm trying to get, and I hope it comes to the end. I am wanting us to focus on the bigger issues, which is 2018. And it's going to take the party, it's going to take the community. We are looking at bylaws. We're going to be updating those bylaws. And one of the things we're going to be doing is updating the committees so they fit what needs to be happening in 2016. So instead of affirmative action, we're going to do outreach. And what outreach is going to be, it's going to have all your caucuses. Your gay and lesbian caucus, your education caucus, your women's caucus, the education caucus. If you want a caucus, you can have a caucus. Now you've got to lead the caucus, because again, I can't lead everything. My first vice chair, second vice chair, third vice chair, treasurers, we can't lead everything. We need you. Okay? So if you want a caucus, there's a caucus for it. I am speaking, please. I have the floor. We have finance, and there are sign-up sheets in the back. You can, before you leave, pick the committee that interests you, if you do that. We are looking for chairs for some of these, so if anyone has a passion, let me know. We have a nomination right now for Ways and Means, and we have selected, the executive committee has approved Dorothy Johnson for political action. And if you see on your chair, there's also a list of these committees for you to take home, and it tells you which VP is responsible for that committee's functioning. And right now, that's the de facto chair, except for finance, which actually is chaired by the first vice president. And honestly, I know this is where you guys will get excited. Public relations and publicity. We know that our website's woefully outdated. And unfortunately, God bless his soul, Bob Shannon. We lost him last year, so we're in need of doing our newsletter and getting those things typed straight. Now again, nobody here is perfect. I know I made some mistakes, and we need to fix those issues. I know I had a false oops with the email, and I apologize for any of those. I inconvenience there. But I just want everybody to know that I have worked in this party. I have worked with many of you, and I want to continue to work with many of you that have been here for many years. And I want to work with the new people who want to work with us. But we can't spend our meetings brawling, so let's stay after the ones who are having issues so we can figure this out, because come February, we really need to get on the ground going. All right. As you were saying about finance, our funding, we can't keep running a deficit. Yeah. At some point, you're talking about a bigger space. At some point, we might not have a headquarters. If we keep running a deficit. We have a little bit of savings, so that's been offsetting us a little bit. But, and we have the breakfast coming up, which will give us will help refurbish our finances, to maybe help stave off a larger deficit. So again, I just want to say that I am working for your trust. I want to be the new leader. I want to be your leader. And I want us to be a team. And I understand with all families and all teams, there's some bickering, but let's at least do it in respect. And any issues that are coming up that we need to address with the state party, we'll do that as well.
Jesse, can I ask what the Ways and Means Committee does?
Yeah, I'll go through this in a second. Let me see if I had anything else. Thank you, Samara. I want to say. And I just want to share with you, in our bylaws, we do have our purpose, which is to elect and select Democratic candidates. And I see our vision as we're the committee that will maintain and increase our influence of the Richmond County Democratic Party in this community and elsewhere through the election of candidates that support the ideas of equal rights, economic fairness for all, and support the protection of our environment, both human and natural. So we want to be about the business of increasing our influences by electing those candidates that support our ideals. So with that, I will take questions. Yes.
Thank you, and I agree that I think everybody here would agree that we want to discuss these things in a civil manner. I don't want to speak for anybody else, and if anybody else disagrees with me, by all means speak up. I don't think anybody came here tonight with the intention of disrupting anything. We really thought, based on what we were told last month, that our applications would be approved, and if they weren't, that at least we would know why, so that we can get to the bottom of anything. You mentioned the radio. Just for anybody who's not aware of what they were talking about, because of the events of the meeting in November and then the election that took place last month, we were not able to get any recourse within the executive committee or to get any time to speak to the membership, and we were not being heard. So we had no choice but to reach out to the media to try to get people to, pay attention to what was going on and to try to advocate for an inclusive process. And when, the media response that we got, we did get some media response, and one of the people that I spoke with was Austin Rhodes, because I personally have worked in the theater with Austin Rhodes. I disagree vehemently with just about everything that comes out of that man's mouth. And he enrages me with the over-the-top provocative things that he says, the same way that he does everybody in here. He said racist, hateful things. He discriminates, clearly. He was one of the only people who reached out to me, though, because he knows me through the theater, who said, I'd like to give you an opportunity to talk about what's going on. And I'm not unaware that he probably, was sitting back thinking, ha ha ha, the Democrats are eating themselves. But I didn't go on there with the intention of trying to badmouth Democrats everywhere and to shut the party down. I went because I felt like there was no other way for me to be heard. I mean, I'm a teacher. I teach English and theater. I teach my students that if you express yourself well and you make a rational argument that's supported by evidence, that your argument will win out. But right now I'm having a difficult time fully believing that whenever I've been faced with the kind of exclusion that we have. I can't think anybody in here has heard me say anything from the very first time I came here that was disrespectful or nasty. Anytime that I've raised my voice, it was to be heard because people were shouting at me. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to push people out. I just want to be included. And if there's a reason that you have questioned my loyalty to progressive ideals or, the way that I express those, then by all means, call me. Or send me a message. I've put my email address and phone number on every sign-in sheet since November. That would have been a way to handle it, just to say, hey, we're a little concerned about this. Can you kind of explain yourself? And then we could have come into here all being on the same page, got everybody approved so that we could get to work helping you with the goals that clearly are in need of people helping out. That's what we want to do. So please stop excluding us. Please let us help you.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, can you give your name to...
Jared Gay.
Jared Gay.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
I also want
Your name, please.
Rosalind Shepherd.
I just wanted to take a moment to speak up because I think it's important, to be able to understand what it is to be in another person's shoes, and that's how I do everything. So I do understand the importance of this. It's just really great to see the commitment level of people who want to come and work within the party. I think that's really important to have. I just think we have to be careful because we run the risk of emotions running high. We run the risk of a lot of things happening. Now, I agree. Now, if there's something that I wanted and I keep asking for it and you don't give it to me, I'm going to give you a hard time. I'm guilty of it. I'll do it. I'll do it. However, I also have to check myself and make sure that I'm not allowing things to block me from understanding what is happening in real time. And to that, I want to say, I understand that things have happened in the past. Well, there was a purpose for voting in a new administration and sitting down and taking the time to kind of look at the problems within the party and to come up with an administration that could possibly address those things, correct what needs to be repaired, and so we can all come together and move on. It would be unfair of me to expect this party to just jump on what I think is a problem or what a few people think is a problem and just quickly eradicate it, especially just coming into office. I heard you say that there were applications that were given that were suspect. I trust your judgment. I don't want to work We've had people, I read today that Trump may have been compromised by an attorney within his own company. So we have to realize what we're dealing with, and I was happy to hear that from you. Now, if it comes down to eliminating people out of personal preference or because of personality, I have a problem with that. But what I'm asking is, I understand what it is to be frustrated, but I did hear the gentleman say, please meet me afterwards. And here's what I'm saying. You may have been coming 2 months, 3 months, but the new administration's first meeting said, they didn't shut it down or will not talk about it, said meet me afterwards. And I would have understood this a little bit more had this been the next meeting where he was met with and you didn't like what he said, and you could come and say, well, he said this, you could tell people what he said. We're dealing with facts. Let's give the new administration a chance to prove who they are. We don't know who created, or it's easy to point the finger and say this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But let's give them a chance. Let's eliminate, because we all can feel that we're right. But at the end of the day, if we're all trying to be right instead of solve the problem, sometimes you have to sacrifice, sometimes you have to wait, sometimes you have to be patient to get what you want. But if you truly believe that you're right, and you truly believe that this should be done, and you're offered an opportunity to have a sit down with the person who made the decision so you can get your facts, come to the meeting with the facts. And then, and the last thing I want to say is, even when you do that, I sense so much hostility. There's so much hostility. How are we going to get, if we can't solve problems within our own party, what are we going to do out there in the communities with all of this hostility? I understand, so what I want to say is, for me, when it comes to the point where I'm hostile and I feel that I'm not going to be a part of the solution, and I got to threaten people, and like I heard someone say a threat to me twice here, and maybe you didn't know you were threatening me, but I said it sounds like a threat twice. And if you roll back that video, you'll read it. We don't need to do that. I came here to meet everyone. I came here to find out. I'll get involved in your cause if it's not right, honestly. Okay? So I just want to say this. I want to clear the air. And I know it might be a little long for some, because I want you to understand, I don't care what the fight is. If it's not right, I'm there. I'm with you. So can we even in our, and hey, one day you might have to pull my coattail and say, hey, you're a little passionate about that. Yeah. Pull it. Pull it, okay? We're all human. It could happen to me. I just want to say, coming from me, from what I see, the hostility, if we can do this without the hostility, if we can do this by reasoning with one another, I understand what wasn't done before and it may have been wrong. I'm asking this because it's a new administration. And if we approach it with a new approach, still stand our grounds, I'm for what's right. And can we just do that and not bring the hostility to the meetings? If someone's not doing anything right, then we can say, here's what we're going to do and submit it. We don't like it, then let's leave the party.
Thank you. And I wanted to piggyback on something, because when I didn't follow my script there, this is my first meeting. You might see me as someone who's been here, but it's different being here. So I do ask for your support. Again, that's why I'm stressing team. I know I can't do it by myself. I don't want to do it by myself.
And you're going to make mistakes, and we're going to hang you. I'm just kidding. That's what we're going to do.
Give us the rope.
But give me the opportunity to learn from those mistakes. Okay? So, like I said, anything that we need to straighten out that involves membership, we'll take that up after the meeting. Now, I think you said you had a point. Yeah. We can keep them limited, guys, because
I'll make it really quick. So first, again, I'm Michelle. My legal name is Nathan. That's the name that appears on my application. But I go by, I've been called Michelle my entire life.
How do you spell that, Michelle?
M-I-C-H-E-L. It's French Michael.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Je suis français. But yeah, born here and raised. I've lived here in Augusta my entire life. I would like to respond to something that you said, and in your same spirit, any opposition is going to be found as hostile. Anytime you stand up and say, I do not agree with the way this is going, it's going to be found from the person that you are telling that to as a hostile act. I would like to follow your lead, and I forget your name, I'm sorry, but going back to Martin Luther King. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Emery.
Yes, Miss Emery. I'd like to go back to what you said, and those of you that were at the Martin Luther King service at Tabernacle Baptist Church, put on by the Progressive Religious Coalition of Augusta, you heard Reverend Barber say that standing down is not an option. You heard that Reverend Barber said that from 64 to 67, the last 3 years of Dr. King's life, that is when he started to get revolutionary. That is when he started to get militant. That is when he started to get to the point of, I don't have time for some pacified liberal unless he is out there doing my fight. And like you said, with Reverend King being told to go to that basement for his first sermon, that his daddy told him to go to the basement for the first sermon. What do you think this building is right now? This building, this room, is the basement. Me and all the people that have walked in here with me, we are that Martin Luther King Jr. that has been walked in and told.
No, you're not.
And told
No,
that.
you're not. That's
Well,
not
excuse me.
true.
Excuse me.
Pull her coattail. Pull her coattail.
Not to make a racial connection, but to make a revolutionary connection.
On that one.
That we are being told that no, you have to go to this back room. No, you have to go down to this downstairs place. No, you have to go to this other place for you to be heard. But when we get there, we have these crowds. People like me have been claiming crowds. Bernie Sanders claimed crowds bigger than any other political representative in quite some history. But yet y'all are still telling us, no, we're not going to give y'all the time. So you can either agree with me or not. That's fine. Please disagree with me. It's a free country. But I'm not sitting down. Standing down is not an option. You better get used to me because I've been here for 3 months, and I'm going to keep trying and trying and trying until I'm a member. And I'm going to be a member the right way.
Daniel?
Then Liz, and then Mr. Gay, you're the last comment.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did you?
9 o'clock.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say something very briefly. The same thing that's going on in this room is happening in Brussels and Antwerp as well.
Okay, thank you for the international story.
Well, the hard thing about
that's great.
Well, no, the hard thing about it is just it is a generational thing.
Yeah, actually it is.
And well,
I'm a little. I know I'm not your generation, but I'm not.
It's just accept reality, and the reality is that this conflict can be very productive because, like you said, you've got wisdom, you got experience behind you, you've got failures, you've got successes, and you learn from your successes. Probably not even as much as you learn from your failures. Our generation has failed a lot. And, so that the kind of anger that the generations that came before us feel is, and let me just take it back to Europe because I know that better at this point. People in Europe don't even talk to each other about this stuff anymore because they're so afraid that their whole European Union scheme that they've got going on is going to just fall apart because they're worried that young people are just not buying into the idea that union is the best way to go. But all the young people in Europe I talk to are pro-European Union. They're pro-left. They're pro every single principle that I think this organization has. So I feel like there's really no real disagreement. It's just, should we include these people or not? So it seems like from the last meeting this was an issue. I would expect that it would be talked about at this meeting.
Okay. It was requested and denied.
I just have one short.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I just have one short thing to say to the people that made the decision not to go ahead and vote, those of us who didn't get voted in tonight. And that is, the only thing you have to be afraid of, I mean, you never, it's like I taught my children all their lives. If you do the right thing, it'll always be easy to explain yourself. So if you do the right thing, it is easy to explain yourself. What we're asking you to do is the right thing. And the biggest right thing is to follow your own bylaws. They're there for a reason. If you do that, you'll have no problem at all from me and I can just about guarantee you I'm speaking for my son as well, because I raised him.
Who's your son?
Go ahead, let's talk
Yep.
about that.
That's my dad.
This is gonna sound nitpicky, but I keep hearing about 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. I think the first nominating committee was in November, which means it's maybe been 2 months at most, and we've had
This is the third meeting.
Thanksgiving.
This is the third meeting. That's all we
the
know.
third time we've been here.
Okay, but 2 months with
No,
Thanksgiving.
November,
There's 3
December, and
monthly
January.
meetings.
This is the
Yeah,
third time.
we came 19th of November, then to the
The
December,
19th
not
of
to the
November,
January.
Bill, what's
Just find out
nominated.
why that's important to Liz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I won't argue with you about
Yeah.
that.
How is that relevant?
Yeah, I think, we're just kind of feeling rushed and nagged and things are getting exaggerated and hyperbole, it's just, there's been a lot happening since we first saw you guys, and things are coming along. I mean, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, here we are, we're all busy people,
It's
just.
not an excuse.
It is. It feels like you thought we wouldn't come back. And
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, it does.
And come back.
It really feels like you don't care about
No,
us.
that was
You do
not,
respect us.
that's not all the case, and that is not true, that we do not respect
I mean,
it.
you spoke of respect, but we do not feel respected.
We can cite in bylaws where we were disrespectful.
Well, I can say at some levels
And
where
video.
I don't feel respected.
Follow your own bylaws.
That's the most important thing.
No, I'm not complaining, I'm just stating back and forth, fact. And the hour is late. We have a couple more things we have to go through, one of which is changing the meeting time for this meeting. Chris Johnson, before you leave?
We're supposed to see him after.
Yeah, we're supposed
yeah.
to see him after. We're supposed to be able to talk to him before he leaves. If he leaves, then that is a problem.
Get him.
He might respect that for air or something.
Riots are the voice of the unheard.
But we have to not be hostile.
Okay.
Just demanding respect.
We've changed the meeting times of our exec meetings, so this allows this meeting to be earlier. So I wanna make the motion that we put the time of the meeting going forward to 6:30. Now,